Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is James Oliver Hacking III, and this is episode number 295 of the Immigration Answer Show. We have offices around the country. St. Louis is our world headquarters. We just moved in, 10121 Manchester Road, Suite A, St. Louis, Missouri, 63122. We also have offices in downtown San Diego in the building attached to USCIS, and we have an office in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Hope you all are doing well. My man Sheldon is here. What's up, Sheldon? Kwaku's here. Asapalov's here. Hoolie's here. Hoolie's keeping track of all the comments. Carolina's here. We'll go to Carolina first. Hope you all are well. I'm going to be here for the full hour answering as many of your immigration law-related questions as possible. I met with my ethics lawyer today to see what he thought about this idea of me starting a course for people going through the green card process, and I think we can make that work. Yes, Rocio, that is the new office. 10121 Manchester is our new office, our world headquarters. It's a building that we bought and we moved last Friday. So we are in that office, although it appears that maybe this Friday there won't be anybody in that office because it's supposed to be 3 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 degrees Fahrenheit here in St. Louis. So it should be super cold. And it's supposed to snow. We might have a white Christmas, and it's going to be super cold here in St. Louis, and I think over a lot of North America starting tomorrow. So we might get some snow tomorrow, and then we might get really, really cold weather. I just got back from Houston, Texas. That's why we weren't able to do the show yesterday. Here's a brag alert for you. I'm just going to let you know ahead of time I'm bragging on my daughter, Noor. Her team won the softball tournament. It was a showcase tournament where kids came in from around the country. Her team won the tournament. She won the home run derby. She had 6 home runs herself, and she was also named the MVP for her 2027 class of softball players. So it was pretty exciting. It was fun being with her, but I am glad to be home. I am here today, and I will be going down to the Missouri Botanical Garden after today's show, and we're going to go see the Garden Lights. So in St. Louis, we have this great place called the Missouri Botanical Garden, and the Missouri Botanical Garden, obviously not a lot of people go to it in the winter, so they put up a lot of lights, and so we're gonna go down and walk through the lights, and I think we're gonna get it in just before it gets too cold. Yeah, look, it's going to be minus 25 in Denver tomorrow. Holy cow. And it's going to be minus 3 in Chicago. And that's Fahrenheit, Hooli. That ain't Celsius. So it's going to be super cold. Andrew said they're really worried about it being cold. And then I was just thinking that in Argentina, Christmas is hot. Christmas is hot in Argentina. So that's very strange. So I'm glad you all are here. Hooli's asking where you're watching from. If you haven't already, let us know where you're watching from. We got Jacob in Brazil. We got Abel in Richmond, Virginia. We's always wishing the best to Noor. I think we is Noor's biggest fan. Maybe I can, maybe tomorrow I'll put up some of Noor's hits from this weekend because it was a lot of fun. All right, let's get this party started, and we're going to start with Carolina.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Carolina. I'm just going to run over there real quick and get a pen. I'm listening, so you can go ahead and start talking.
So I'm a Canadian citizen, and I have a master's in social work. I have my license in the United States already, and I'm considering to apply for TN because I'm not eligible for the NIW application. So my question is, when I apply, because the TN visa allows social workers to be accepted, but as a social worker, I can work as a behavioral therapist. I can work as a case manager. So I'm still eligible for the TN, despite I have a different name, but I need a degree of social work.
I think, yes, you'd need to be careful how you frame it with the offer letter from the employer. Are you going to try to do this at CBP or at the embassy when you?
I think on the border. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's better. But yeah, it's all going to be how you frame it. But if social worker is listed in the occupations, then I would talk to the people that are hiring you about like it's social worker as a behavioral therapist. Like you really need to frame it because they make a pretty quick decision at the border there on those TNs. I mean, relatively quickly, and so you want to make sure that that they don't get confused and refuse it because they don't understand. So I would make it drop dead simple for them. I would have the letter really go into detail about how this work as a behavioral therapist or whatever the occupation is truly within social work. I might go out and find some articles that talk about how this is a subset of social work. I would really package that all together in a way that makes it drop dead simple for them.
Okay. So in the second question is, if that employer decide to sponsor me after a while, what are the chances that when I go to the perm, the immigration will not allow me to keep that job?
So you're talking about when you say sponsor, you mean sponsor you for an H-1B or sponsor you for a green card? For a green card?
So green card, like, yeah. EB3.
It's tricky to go from TN. A TN is a non-immigrant visa, and when you file that EB3, then that's immigrant intent, and that's, hey, I'm trying to get a green card. So that can be tricky. You might need to go from TN to H-1B and then to the green card. Because you understand, it's like saying I want to come on a visit, but then also planning on getting married. It's the same thing in the employment context. I'm saying on a TN, I'm saying that eventually I'm going to go back to Canada. But once you apply for perm, or the employer applies for perm or applies for an immigrant visa for you, then you have an immigrant intent problem, and that's inconsistent with the TN.
And H-1B is the lottery, right?
Is the lottery, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that very hard, right?
Well, last year 500,000 people applied for 85,000 slots, so yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I have to make a decision.
Yep. But what I would do is I would come down, do the TN for a while, and then go from there. Don't decide it all at once. Don't be thinking about perm before you're even here on your TN.
Because I'm gonna leave my job that I have 80 years and I have 6 weeks vacation. So it's a lot to leave behind. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yep. All right. Thanks for coming on. Good luck. All right. Let's say hi to Chris. Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
Good. Chris knows what's up. Can you uncover your mouth because I can barely hear you?
I'm sorry. It's freezing here, so you gotta be a little bit warm. I got my green card through the immigration judge a couple months ago, but they just give me this. I went to USCIS and everything. I went to the what is it? Info pass appointment and everything. This was in October, and I haven't heard nothing from them.
You mean on the actual? You're waiting on the actual physical green card, you mean?
Yes, exactly. So I was wondering how long does it take? Like, they stamped my passport and everything, but like, they didn't give me a tracking number or anything. Like, so
that's good. Yeah, there's no tracking number because they haven't produced the green card. So getting when a judge issues you lawful permanent residence, that's probably the slowest way that people get their green card. That's one that takes the longest. So when was the order from the judge?
That's June 30th.
So I would think, I mean, we always say 6 months at the longest. So I think you probably got another month or two. I would just keep bothering them.
Yeah, because like when I try to call and they just tell me like, oh, write a letter to the field office, and that's pretty much it what they say.
Right. Yep.
It doesn't matter that the judge granted the green card through a BAWA case.
No, it's just slow. It's just slow because the immigration judges are separate from USCIS. So to get them to pay attention, we hear a lot of complaints about those taking a long time. Okay,
so in your suggestion, I should write a letter to USCIS and tell them like,
yep,
like what's going on. Like it's been almost 6 months,
yep,
and I haven't heard nothing from you.
It's ridiculous, but yes, I think that's your only choice.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's gonna be all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris. Stay warm.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see if Maldives is there. Maldives, you there?
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm good. So here's the thing. So I filed last year, October. Um, I did my fingerprint and everything.
Filed for what?
Marriage based visa.
Marriage
I
based
won forty
green
five. Yes.
I-45 for a green
Yeah,
card. So
I'm
you're applying
45.
for a
I'm
green card
sorry.
based on marriage. Okay, and what's
So
the receipt date is?
the receipt, I got the receipt. I think a couple days after I filed, and then I did my fingerprint in March.
Of 22.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
So,
then
yep, what's the question?
it's more than a year now, and I called them this morning, and I spoke to a lady, and she said it's past my processing time for my work permit. You know, and she said it takes like 28 months to get the green card. But my thing is this: why would they even take such a long time and not have me in a suspense? No notification, no update, and then they pass the due date, the processing time for me to receive my work permit. I mean, what are they doing?
Nothing. They're lazy and dumb. So let's back up though. Where are you from?
I'm from Jamaica. I'm currently living in Mississippi.
Okay, and you came to the United States on what kind of a visa?
A J1.
And are you subject to Rule 212E or are you exempt from Rule 212E?
I'm sorry.
Are you exempt from, do you know about Rule 212E, the rule that says you go back home for 2 years at the end of your studies?
Yes. They said I could extend.
Right, but
Um.
that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is on your J1, on your passport, and
Yes,
on the
sir.
DS 2019, it would say that you're subject to Rule 212E, which means you have to go back home for 2 years at the end of your J1, or that you're exempt from it. What does yours say?
Oh yes, I'm exempt. I'm
Okay.
exempt from it, sir.
Okay. All right. Great. And so, when did your J1 end?
It ended in 2017 in August.
And when did you get married?
I got married last year May. I'm sorry, last year March. I'm sorry. The ceremony was in May.
That's okay. So, you married a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
So, at the time that you got married, you were out of status.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, that's one reason why it's taking a little bit longer. That doesn't surprise me. They slow walk those cases. And then, so, when you did you file with an attorney or without an attorney?
Well, I filed with an attorney,
Mm-hmm.
and basically she said that just wait, you know. But I
So,
mean, the suspense is just killing me.
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So, um, so you filed an I-130, an
Yes, sir.
I-130A, an I-485, an
Hmm.
I-765, and an
Yes, sir.
I-131. And
Yes, sir.
those were all received by USCIS when? In May of last year?
No, they I filed last year in October.
October, so 14 months ago.
Yes, sir.
So it's not the worst timeline that I've heard. I would say give them another month. I mean, the work card, you should have had the work card a long time ago. So if you really, really want the work card, we could sue for the work card. We could also just sue for the whole thing and get everything moving. I think if you sued them, they'll get working on the case sooner rather than later. Otherwise, I think you just got to keep waiting.
Okay. How can I do that? Do I email you guys or?
Yeah, just send an email and say, hey, I was on the show. This is Maldives, and I was on the show, and I want to get my case moving. And there's our email address right there, info@hackinglawpractice.com.
Alrighty, I definitely will. And thank you so much for all that you do.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Boy, we have quite a fan base in Jamaica. I got to go to Jamaica, and we could do a live show down in Kingston. What do you guys think? I think that would be fun. I think if this show gets bigger, we might just start doing that. That would be a lot of fun. All right, my friend Kapil points out that Jim misspoke, as I often do. It was 500,000 applications for H-1Bs, not 500,000 people, that there's a lot of duplicates filed by the big employers. So thank you for that clarification. This is true. All right, let's say hi to Guru. What's up, Guru?
Hey, so I applied for I-130 for my wife in last year, 2021 December. So it's almost been a year now. And I applied my parents I-130 right after them, right after her.
Yep.
That's got approved, but my wife uh, did not get approved yet. Nothing happening yet.
Okay. That doesn't surprise me. Is your wife overseas?
Yes, she is back home.
Yeah. So what's the receipt date on your wife's case?
7th December 21.
So I would give it another couple months. I mean, you could sue them now, but I think that I don't think you should read too much into it that the parents' case went faster. Sometimes that just happens.
Okay. So, I mean, is there something we can, like, I try to do expedite or stuff like that? I mean, is there a better way or do something at least? Because,
The only thing that in my book, expedite requests don't usually work. The only thing that works is suing them. So either keep waiting or sue them. Those are the only two things. I think if you sued them on an I-130 that's been delayed, it'll get moving when it's at USCIS. It gets moving pretty quickly. So if you want to sue them, that would get her case approved, and then it would be on its way to the National Visa Center, I think.
Okay. And how long that takes? Let's say we sue it.
About 2.5 months.
2.5. Okay. Okay. I'll send you the email, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Guru. Bye, buddy. All right. That was Guru. Everyone's got questions about delays today. I guess USCIS isn't doing their job. All right. Let's say hi to Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Mr. Hacking. I have a question. So I applied for U.S. citizenship last year. And so this year, July, they sent me a notice scheduled for interview, but I moved and I didn't notice them. So I missed the interview for once. And then I talked to them and rescheduled it. But there's a situation change at my home country. So I need to delay my U.S. citizenship application. So I missed the second interview. And they sent me a deny notice. They say like it's being denied. So my question is, so Mr. Hacking, so will I lose my eligibility for U.S. citizenship application forever, or you think maybe a few years later I can apply again?
You can apply tomorrow, unless are you overseas? You mean like you're out of the country for a long time, or what?
No, I'm in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, you could apply tomorrow as long as you're going to be here, and don't miss another one. I think you make them mad when you miss. So I would apply only if I know that I'm going to be in Houston for the next year.
I see. You mean even I think from the denial letter, I kind of feel they got offended. Like they were saying 2 times you didn't show up in the interview, and it's denied. Yeah. So, but you think it's okay? I can just let this case abandoned, and then
I don't think they're offended. I think they just it's an automatic denial. If you don't show up twice for your interview, that's the end of that. So it's not so much offended, or they're not going to if you apply today, they would see that it got denied. They'd probably ask you a question about it, but it's not going to keep you from getting your citizenship.
I see that is released to know. So that's good to know.
Okay. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you, Mr. Hacking.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, that was Sharon. All right, so yeah, Jacob says the delay is killing everybody. I think that's true. I think that people are just fed up with USCIS and their crappy ways. What a dysfunctional agency they are. All right, let's say hi to Ariz. Hi, Ariz.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's clear. So I came to US. My fiance is here with me. She's an American national. I came back to US last week, and we have filed for I-192F.
I-129F.
Yeah. Okay. And we had filed it in May last year.
Yeah.
And the waiting time for the processing, I think it's about 15 months. So we're looking at something like September or August or something like this next year, by the time they have a look at our file. So we were thinking if we could go ahead just with getting married over here and then file for a change of status instead of waiting almost another year, and then go ahead with the process of the interview and the K1 visa thingy. So we had filed for the K1 visa last year.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite kind of case. So who's the U.S. citizen?
Her.
Yeah.
Okay, and when did you enter the United States, Ariz?
Last week.
He just got here
I just
on
got
the
here
tourist visa.
on a tourist visa.
So, and when you came through customs, or when you got your tourist visa, what was the purpose of your visit? What did you tell them you were coming to do?
I told them tourism.
Just for like a month.
For a
visit
month,
for
because the
holidays.
idea was to come for holidays.
Yeah.
Okay, and did they ask you about a girlfriend or anybody in the United States?
They asked me job and stuff. I live in Dubai, basically. So they asked me what was your job, and I told them I was working with ADNOC and stuff. So they were like, "Oh, okay, well that's cool."
Hold on, my kid's school is calling me to tell them that they are not going to have school because of the snow. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's not talk about you so much. Let's just talk about a made-up person, okay? Because I don't want to get you in any trouble or anything. But if someone came to the United States on a visit visa, and then they decided to get married while on that visit visa, as long as they got married more than 60 days after they arrived, and then applied for an I-130. So once you get married, the I-129F is dead, right? But if somebody waited 3 months or 2.5 months after arrival and then got married, they could file an I-130 petition and, just as you say, do everything here. Now, the real question will be whether that was the person's intent when they came through customs. So the person's going to have to be ready at their green card interview to explain that I was here on a tourist visa. I came for tourism. I did all my tourism. My girlfriend was here. We had this fiance case pending. It was taking forever. And then I talked to this lawyer on YouTube, and his name is Jim. And he said that as long as you didn't have the intent when you came through customs to get married on this trip, as long as you decided once you were in the United States that it was okay, and that we decided to go ahead and get married, file the I-130, and then withdraw the I-129F because you morons are taking so long processing these cases.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah. Is it, but like, so we were also reading too that we could get like the temporary employment authorization when we apply for it.
Yeah, you'll apply. So when you apply the I-130. That's you. I'm a U.S. citizen. I want to sponsor Ariz for green card. An I-130A, which is background information about Ariz. An I-485, which is that he wants to adjust his status from here on a B1, B2 to lawful permanent resident. And then we're also going to ask for a temporary work card and temporary travel document, because once he files, he's sort of stuck in the United States. He can't leave, and he can't work until he gets that work authorization. So that work authorization is supposed to come in 2 or 3 months. But as one of the earlier callers said, Maldives, she's been waiting a year for that temporary work card because they're such morons, right? So it might be a while before he actually gets the work card. Now, they say they're doing it faster now for people that just applied, but I think that they're full of shit. So, don't do this with the belief that they're going to get you that work card fast. They should, but I don't know that they will.
Okay.
And no offense, and I say this, my wife's from Egypt. I became Muslim 25 years ago. Most of my clients are from predominantly Muslim countries. They discriminate against men named Ariz Kamel, just how it is.
Oh, so it might take even longer then.
Yeah, because especially, and then if captain means military, then that's a whole other layer of delay. But all that being said, these are good reasons why to not do the fiance case, because you'd much rather be together here having that discussion than overseas where they just sit on the case at the embassy forever.
Yeah, that's what we're worried about. That's already taking so long, and then it'll just sit like and go administrative processing or something for even.
We just filed one of these cases. They're my favorite kind of cases when people have those long pending fiance. Then they talk to me and I say, forget all that. Don't go back home. Do it all here. And there's things you got to give up. Like you can't work for a while. You're stuck here, but at least you're together. And at least you're going to have a better sense of control over your timeline and over your interview, because it's all done here in the United States, not in Islamabad or someplace like that where they're just total assholes.
Yeah. We're just worried, I think, that like when we have our interview that they're going to really like dig at us trying to say that he came here under fraudulent intent. And that's like our biggest worry, that then we're going to get screwed over then and then get stuck in processing here, or worse, that they send.
That can happen, but that's why my first questions were about tourism. So I would make sure to do tourism. Whatever he was going to do, I would do those things. I wouldn't get married. I wouldn't even get married on the 61st day, right? I would get married maybe 3 or 4 months in, and then I would slow walk it and not be all weird and like jumping to get married, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
so
you,
much.
Jim.
If you need any help, let us know, okay?
Yes,
thank
yes,
you.
we will write to
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. All right, let's say hi to Marcella. Hi, Marcella.
Hi, Jim. So, I have a few questions. My case is kind of hard to explain,
Okay.
but I will do my best. So, I recently have an interview for citizenship. I came to the country under a green card, under a U visa that my mom got. Um, but when I was a minor, when I was around 16 years old, I made a few mistakes when I was
Okay.
young. So
Sure.
I got arrested in my country.
Uh-huh.
And when the citizenship interview happened, that came up.
Well,
And
so had it come up in your green card application, or was this
no,
the first time so this is the
it,
first time they're finding out about it?
yeah.
And when you say it came up, did it come up because you brought it up, or did it come up because they discovered it on their own research?
Yeah, they discover on their own.
This doesn't sound good. Okay. Okay. So what happened?
So
So
the
then the next question, Marcella, sorry to interrupt you, is so one of their favorite tricks, if they know that they have stuff on you, is they ask you and then they see if you say yes or no before they tell you that they have this information. Does that make sense? So
yes,
did they ask, did they
yeah,
let, and did you say yes about it, or did you say no about it?
I say yes.
So you told them the truth.
I told them the truth.
Good. Okay, that's good. So at least we don't have that problem. So all we have now is the problem that it wasn't disclosed in your green card application. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So when my grandma was in charge of the whole process with the green card because I was a minor.
Yeah.
So my record came clean when when we applied for the green card.
Well, so when you did the green card, did you do it from overseas with an immigrant visa, or did you do it here in the United States?
No, over there. So my mom started the process here under
Oh,
the U visa as a derivative.
yeah,
Derivative?
derivative. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're
So
saying that when you got your police certificate at the embassy for the embassy, that it came back clean.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so the first interview, because I had two citizenship interviews. The
Where
first interview,
which field office?
yeah,
Which field office?
San Francisco, is that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one, of course, they didn't approve it, and they told me they were gonna let me know.
So it came up at the first interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So just sorry to interrupt again. Do you have a sense that they were surprised when you told them, or do you think like they were surprised, like they already knew and they were just waiting to see what you would say?
they knew. I think it was they knew, but they wasn't sure. They weren't sure. Like,
Was this the same person?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because the
All right.
name was
So then
different.
what happened at the second interview?
So the second interview, it was just about questions.
Just the what?
Questions. So he just questioned me about like
About what
what
happened?
happened. Yeah, and well, it was the same officer.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Did he write down the answers and then have you sign something?
yes,
That old trick. Just for everybody watching, nothing good ever happens when they're taking down your statement and they're asking you to read it and sign it. That means things aren't good. Go ahead.
yeah. So I told the truth about the arrest and all that. And I told them, well, I was a minor. I wasn't, I wasn't. I didn't know what I was doing back then. So the question that he asked me is when I had the green card interview,
At the
if
embassy. At the embassy.
at the embassy, if they asked me about the criminal,
And did they?
and I said I didn't remember because to be honest, it was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what happened in that interview.
Right.
So that was my answer. So I am kind of worried because, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. So yeah, that's pretty
So
much my
so
case.
is the N400 still under review? Like they
Oh
haven't?
yeah, so the result came out as they could not give me a answer yet if my citizenship was approved or not.
When was that second interview?
That was last week,
Oh, last week. Okay.
November. Yeah. No, wait a second. Yeah, but it was like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the first interview was on 2019.
Right. So it sat for 3 years. So that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that means, so what happened between the first and second interview is they went and got the records, whatever they could get from the embassy, to see if there's anything in the notes.
Yeah.
Did you have a sense as to whether or not he thought that he had notes about what you told the officer, or did you have the sense that he was just going based off what you said?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Yeah. So could you tell, like, was he looking at things in the file that made it seem like he already knew what you had told the officer, or did you have a sense that he was like treating it fairly?
Yeah, I think he didn't fully believe me
Yeah.
what I was telling him.
How old
Even
were
though
you? How old were you when you went to the embassy interview?
I was 16.
And
So
how much time did you actually spend at the window in those?
5 minutes. It
Right.
was super quick. That's what I came.
So, I mean, I think it would have been helpful if you brought an attorney with you to the second interview. I think it also, I would have prepped you. Like, you say you don't remember. I would have tried to push you a little bit on it, and like just that 5 minutes, right? The fact that you were only there for 5 minutes, like, do you have any recollection of them asking you about your criminal record or anything? Like, if you've ever been arrested, like, or what do you? And I don't want you to answer this on camera right now, but like, what do you remember from the interview? Like, these are the kinds of things that I would have drilled down on. And then with the officer, I would have pushed him to say, hey, what do you got in your notes? What does it say? Now, so obviously I'm not your lawyer, but there's a couple things you could do. One is you could withdraw the N400 and then go ahead and get those records yourself so that you can see what they see. See, right now it's not fair. It's not even. They have more information than you do. They've gone back. They've pulled the DS-160, which you didn't fill out. How old were you when you went to the embassy interview? I know I just asked you that. 16?
16.
Yeah.
16.
I don't know. He's probably not sure if he can ding you on it. And let me ask you this question. And like, you probably need help with this, Marcella, because you might want to withdraw it. You might want to withdraw it and then go get everything. You might want to just wait and see what happens. But what we don't want is for them to come after your green card. That's what we don't want, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's the big concern. So maybe we withdraw the N400 and try to back away like Homer Simpson into the bushes, like, hey, don't forget about me. Like, just go ahead and close that file. We'll talk about it later. And then go ahead and track down the records from the State Department.
How do I do that? Can I do it online, or is it a form?
It's called a Freedom of Information Act request to the State Department. To try to see what they might not give it to you. You might not be able to get it, but right now they have it and you don't, and that's not a good thing.
Okay, so that's your recommendation. Just withdraw the.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I gotta think it through. I mean, it's hard for me to say on this call, but I know what I was going to ask you. Without saying what the crimes were, do you think it's something super serious that would have made them not want to give you a green card, or is it little ticky-tack stuff?
Well, it could be, but it also involves marijuana.
Oh, okay. And how long before you were 16 did that all happen?
It happened when I was 16.
Okay. So okay. So it sounds to me like maybe you might want to withdraw that N400 for now and then track down what you can. And then, one of my clients said, I had a client from Nigeria one time, and he said his dad always said to him, sometimes if you find yourself in a battle that you don't think you can win, that maybe you should back off and regroup and then get ready for a fight later on. And so maybe I think that might be the best bet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You got
Yeah.
it, Marcella. Good luck. Let me know if you need help, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's say hello to Masood. Hi, Masood. You're on mute.
Hi, Jim. Yeah. Hi, Jim. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. It's my second time in your show. I'm keep watching your things. It's really helpful. So my first thing first, like I have applied for I-130 and the 485 for me last year in September 20th. And I didn't have any update so far for that. Like they didn't schedule my interview. You said me last time when I spoke to you, like I have to wait until November or December this year. So my first question is that, like how long I have to wait more, or have to go for Sue, or what are my options?
So where are you from?
I'm from California, Sacramento,
And when did you enter? No, but where are you from originally, I mean?
Pakistan,
And when did you come to the United States?
2017, December
What
2017.
what kind of a visa did you have?
F1?
And then did you graduate?
No.
How long did you go to school?
About 6 months. Then I switched to the California. I came to the Florida first.
Yeah, but then did you switch schools, or did you stay in school, or did you stop going to school?
I went to school. I got my everything, but the thing is that there was some issues with the fee because my older school was not releasing my funds to the next school. So I could not be able to, pursue that thing because they wanted ASAP,
So did you fall out of status?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I filed out of status. I got my work authorization. I filed last year in September, in the mid of like 20th of September. And I got my work authorization. I got my travel document that's been lost. And my next question is regarding that too.
Wait, so you fall out of status back in what, 2019 or what?
2019, yeah.
And then did you get married?
Yes.
When did that happen?
2021.
So at the time you got married, you were out of status.
Yes.
So then you file for marriage-based green card, work authorization, travel doc. What's the receipt date for all that stuff?
20 September 2021.
Have you or your spouse ever been married before?
Not me, but my spouse was.
Okay. And okay, and so and you guys live together, everything's okay with the marriage and everything?
Yes.
And you haven't had an interview?
No.
Okay, so what's the question for me?
So like how long I have to wait more to for the interview?
Yeah, and you said it's Sacramento?
Yeah, it's Sacramento. Yeah.
So that's a busy immigration office. It's been 14 months. You were out of status. I might give them another 4 months before I sue them. But if you need your work card, I mean, that's a whole other thing. So you might want to sue sooner rather than later. If you need that work card, because it sounds like you do, and it sounds like they're just sitting on the case.
Yeah, and I got my work authorization, but that's been lost in my attorney office because I have gave her address. She's might be busy, or I'm not gonna blame her, But the thing is that, to be honest, like I didn't got that, and she said like she has reapplied that thing again. I don't know how long it's gonna take because it's really painful right now.
You mean USCIS? You mean you filed for the 765? USCIS approved the 765. USCIS issued an employment authorization document. USCIS sent it to your lawyer's office, and then somehow it got lost in your lawyer's office.
No, it's not 765. I'm talking about 131.
Oh, you were saying work authorization. So do you have your work authorization or no?
Yeah, I do have my work authorization.
So the travel doc. So the travel doc.
Travel doc.
Do you need the travel doc?
Yes, obviously I need that because, like, in case my dad is sick at back home.
Yeah, I mean, I vote that you don't leave till you get your green card just because you were out of status for so long. So you should try to get it. I would apply for another one, but I would really encourage you not to travel on it until you get your green card.
Okay. But is there any ETA, like how long it's gonna take to get that travel doc?
It's like starting over.
Okay, fine. So it's gonna be again that 10,
8, 9 months, 8,
12,
9, 10
8, 9
months.
months. Okay,
Mhm.
fine. And my second question is that, like, I have got I have got traffic citations on my driver license. I have a commercial license on me. I'm driving, but these tickets are not mine. You know, that state trooper has issued that ticket accidentally or mistakenly on my name, and it's been resolved. But the California Department of Motor Vehicle is not removing those things. Instead of that, they are suspending my license. Is it good for me to get a license from another state? And you know, meanwhile, I'm trying to cover.
Why are they issuing tickets that aren't yours to your name?
Oh, that was like it was my co-driver. I was just explaining the situation to the trooper, and he thought might be I'm the driving person. And he voided at the same time, right at front of me too. But I don't know how it got to their court and stuff, and it came to my record.
How many tickets are you talking about?
It's 2 tickets.
And they're suspending your license because of those 2 tickets?
Yeah.
Did you have a traffic lawyer look into this?
No, but it's been sorted out from the judge.
Well, I think you need to talk to a traffic lawyer in California about getting that cleaned up. I would do that instead of going to get a new license. I would protect my California license as opposed to going to Oregon to get a new license.
Okay.
Because you don't want to mess around with identity things. That makes you look shady. I've had some cases where people had driver's license from 2 different states, and it just makes things messy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, okay, gotcha. So, if I need to sue them, so I can contact your office.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, fine. So, approximately, like you're saying, I have to wait 3-4 months more
At least
for
2.
the intro. At
Yeah.
least 2. Like at the end of February, we are good to pursue
Sounds
them.
good. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. And how long it's gonna take to? Sorry to taking you so long. And how
No,
long
it's
it's
okay.
gonna take?
2 or 3 months.
Okay, to sort out. Okay.
Thanks,
Okay.
Monsieur.
Thank you.
Bye, buddy.
Appreciate that, sir. Bye.
See ya. All right. I forgot to go back to these questions about the statement. When you are in an interview and they're taking a recorded statement, you could refuse to sign it. And I suppose if you have a lawyer there, it's good to have the lawyer read it over. We always read it over line by line with our clients. I think technically you could refuse to sign it, but that might lead to a denial of your case. So you need to think that through. Also, with those statements, you always want to make sure that you get a copy of the statement. One of the things they like to do is act like you're not entitled to it, but you are. So if the officer asks you to sign a statement, they'll say, well, you can request it through FOIA or something. Don't take that BS. You're entitled to a statement that day. And if they won't give it to you, tell me you want to talk to the supervisor because they're wrong. You're entitled to your own statement. If you give a statement, that should be true at work or anywhere else. If you ever sign a statement, always get a copy when you sign it. Otherwise, say you're not signing it. All right. Let's say hi to Kay. Hi, Kay. You're on mute.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Good. Hey, Jim, I called you, that was last week concerning my friend's case, and then you referred me to one of your lawyers. So, yeah. So he talked to Paul Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Paul said he can be able to help him out with the suing.
Can or can't? Can or can't?
He can.
Okay.
Yeah, help him sue the USCIS. So he told me to ask you this question, that when he filed for when he does the suing, the lawsuit, when he does it, how many months is it going to take?
So here's what happens when you sue them. So you guys, if your friend signs the contract, makes the first payment, and we get working on the case. I mean, right now, we're going to close on Friday for the holidays, and we got this snowstorm coming. But if somebody signs and pays and we get started, let's say we file it on January 3rd. Okay. It's going to take the court a few days to issue what are called summonses. Summonses are notices to the defendants that they've been sued. And then we print those out and we have to mail them by certified mail to the defendant. So we sue on January 3rd. We get the summonses back on January 5th. Then we mail them by certified mail. That takes like 10 days. So then they get it on January 15th. And then they get 60 days to answer.
Okay.
So that's 2.5 months basically. Now, sometimes they ask for an extension, but sometimes they get moving a lot faster than 2.5 months. It depends on the court. It depends on the U.S. attorney. It depends on what you're suing over. But sometimes they get started right away. Sometimes they wait closer to the 2 or 3 month mark.
Okay. And then also the next question is that when he sued the USCIS, is it going to jeopardize his immigration proceedings? Because he was, let me brief you a little bit about it so that you can know what I'm trying to say. He was arriving alien, and then I told you about he had a fraudulent case on his information.
For when he got the visa.
Yeah, it was that was way back in 2010 in his country.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's just now his worry is when he sued them, is that gonna cause his his immigration proceeding being terminated, not being terminated, like jeopardize whatever he's gonna do on it.
I was just talking about this on LinkedIn with another lawyer that does lawsuits the other day, and he said, and I agreed with him, that we don't believe that USCIS treats your case any differently for suing them. They don't get mad. They're getting sued all the time. I've sued them 1,400 times. They're sort of used to it, and they know that they're delayed, so they don't get mad. We're not asking for someone to get fired. We're not asking for someone to pay us money. We're just asking them to do their job. So really, it sounds scary, like going to court and like I'm gonna have to go see the judge and all this stuff. That isn't what happens. What happens is the lawsuit gets received. They say, "Oh, Kay's friend's case. Oh yeah, I remember that case. Whatever happened to that? Oh, that's over there on the shelf over there. Well, go get it and work on it so we can make this lawsuit go away." That's what happens.
Okay. So last two questions, please.
You're fine.
So okay. So he said, can he file for advanced parole also, or he can't?
Advanced parole. I mean, anyone can apply for advanced parole anytime, but if he's waiting on a green card, that's going to come faster than any advanced parole if he does a lawsuit.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the last one is, now that his immigration, his asylum has been terminated. So when the lawsuit doesn't work, are they going to deport him, or he will still be here?
I don't know about that. I don't know. Whatever Paul, I trust Paul. Paul talked this through with him. Trust Paul. Paul knows what he's doing.
All right. Because he told Paul that he's waiting next month when he doesn't hear anything from the USCIS.
Okay.
Then
yeah, whenever he's ready. It's all good.
All right.
Thanks, Kay. All right. See ya.
Right, thank you. Bye.
Bye, buddy. All right. Let's say hi to Simeon. Hi, Simeon. You're on mute.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for taking my call. Let's just speak hypothetically on this.
Perfect.
Let's say I have a friend from Nigeria. His name is Saul Goodman.
Saul, it's all good, man. All right, so Saul from Nigeria. Got it. Love it.
Yeah. So he has a very difficult I-751 case.
Okay.
And he may have filed it incorrectly without the spouse. And it's been, let's say, so it was filed on June 14, 2021.
Wait, let's back up. So Saul's from Nigeria. When did Saul come to the United States?
Saul came to the United States 2018.
Okay, and what kind
September
of visa,
2018.
what kind of visa did Saul have?
At the time, Saul had a B1, B2 visa.
And when Saul went to the embassy in Nigeria to get his visit visa, did Saul say that he was married?
Saul was not married at the time.
Saul was never married in Nigeria.
Saul was never married before.
So when Saul got his visit visa, they thought he was single, and they gave him that visa knowing he was single.
Yes, he was single.
So then Saul comes in 2018, and then when does Saul marries a U.S. citizen? When does Saul get married?
Saul got married March 2019.
Before the 6 months were up or after?
Yes, before the 6 months were over.
Saul marries a U.S. citizen. The U.S. citizen files an I-130 and a 485. That all gets approved after an interview. Everything's fine at the interview, and then
yes,
2 years later, it's time to file for the 751. And then Saul filed. What does that mean? That was a little bit unclear when you said that Saul misfiled the 751. What does that mean? That Saul filed.
So Saul, spoke with the U.S. citizen wife to try to, have her sign, but out of desperation, Saul went ahead to, sign where he wasn't supposed to sign.
So Saul filed the 751 as a joint.
Yes, Saul filed it as a joint
and forged the wife's signature.
Right.
Got it. And that case is pending?
The case is pending, and then I think sometime in the middle of 2022, there was an RFE requested, and in this RFE, they had said that it appears that both Saul and his wife do not live together, and if that's the case, Saul should, respond with some kind of divorce decree. But what was going on at the time was that Saul and his wife lived apart for a few months because his wife had gone to nursing school in another state, and then COVID happened, and the wife stayed back to work after she finished nursing school. So when she filed her taxes, she had two separate addresses, one in the state where she was working, and also with the primary address that she has with Saul.
Yep.
Yeah, so they requested the evidence. Saul provided more information.
Wait, can I back up a little bit? I want to get back to the signature problem. So, is it did the wife know? Does the wife know that there's a 751 on file?
The wife knew that there was a 751 on file, and initially she was okay with it, but then along the line, the wife started to request that the case be withdrawn, and she wants an annulment of the marriage, not a divorce.
Okay.
So that makes it pretty difficult, but Saul did not, withdraw the case at the time, went ahead to respond to the RFE. And after a while, Saul had also filed N-400.
Oh, Jesus. Saul needs to wipe that shit out. Saul needs to stop. What is Saul's fucking problem?
Right. So, in the midst of this, Saul is now in a place where he is looking to, just withdraw the I-751. But he wants to know if, before filing a new I-751, if he's able to still maintain like a work status in between, or is going to look to
work status is the least of Saul's problems.
Right.
Work status. I mean, I don't. Saul's got a lot of problems.
Right.
I still want to go back to this signature problem. Was it like Saul and the wife were in two different cities, so the wife said, go ahead and sign it? Or did Saul sign it, send it in, and then tell her later?
The latter.
Okay, so, I mean, and she wants an annulment. Okay. I think Saul's in big trouble. What's the question for me?
So, the question is, if he decides to withdraw the case, right? Is he able to file? Is he able to refile the case, and on what grounds would that be possible?
Well, that's a good question. I should ask Andrew about that. We've looked at this before, whether an I-130 that was approved on a marriage that ultimately gets annulled can still do a 751. So, I mean, I don't remember that answer, but I can look it up tomorrow or Friday, and I can talk about it on Friday's show. Just because I don't remember. I think there's still a way for the marriage to be valid for purposes of the 751, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to say that for sure.
Okay, the second question is, let's say Saul decides to withdraw the case and he gets a response from USCIS. Do you know if they're going to, in that response, include a notice to appear, or they're just going to acknowledge receipt of the withdrawal?
Well, they don't have to allow someone to withdraw it. If you withdraw a case, they can say, no, we're not going to let you, and they can deny it.
Mm-hmm.
What Saul's bigger concern is, they're going to come knock on the nurse's door and say, what the hell's going on with Saul?
Right.
So that's the bigger problem. I mean, Saul's got all kinds of problems. He's got misrepresentation problems. I mean, we can't forget that they assume that every marriage of a man from Nigeria is fake anyway. So there's just all kinds of problems with this case. I think Saul needs to be thinking about something else. I think that this marriage is sort of tainted. And at the end of the day, they're going to knock on that wife's door and they're going to try to scare the crap out of her and say, Saul's the liar. Is this even your signature? And she's going to say, who, me? No, that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
So Saul has dug himself a big hole.
Right. Okay, that's the question I wanted to ask. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks, Simeon. See you, buddy. Good luck. All right. That was a tricky case. Let's say hi to Mujahid. You're on mute, brother. There he is.
Hello, Jim.
How are you?
I'm good. I've been watching your show for a long time now, but this is my first time coming in.
Welcome.
I have a question. It's not related to me. It's for my friend. He's in Italy. You know, he's a refugee. So he has a stateless status and also a refugee status. I'm currently in the US, so I'm in college. He want to join me, but he's afraid, like, if he comes here, hope he will be able to have like citizenship, because he is stateless. The stateless status is recognized by Italy.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to come to the United States. They're not going to give him a visit visa. They're not going to give him a student visa if he's stateless. I don't think that's going to happen.
What about with the refugee status?
Nope. They're worried he's going to come here and apply for asylum.
One immigration lawyer told me, like, some refugees have come to here, you know.
I mean, he came and tried to enter across the border and filed for asylum. He could, but that's really dangerous and risky.
Oh.
It's nothing legal.
So he cannot travel with those two status.
No, not to America.
All right, Jim. Thank you.
Bye, Mujahid. Thanks, buddy. All right. Let's say hi to Lucas.
Hello, Jim.
Hi, Lucas. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
Great.
So I have a question. I applied for marriage based on green card and the 4805 and the I-130. The case was received on March 4, and I think about 3 months after. I'm sorry, no. They said the biometrics quick, and then I think 1-2 months after that, I received my work permit and the social. And today, after all this happened, I got a notice saying that they're requesting for more initial evidence on the 4805.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been almost like the whole year, and then I got this notice right now, and I just want to check with you, like, what.
So it sounds like you haven't submitted enough evidence that shows the marriage is real. They don't believe the marriage.
Okay.
How long ago did you get your work card and your social security number?
So the case was received on March 4, and I think I would say I'm sorry, I didn't have all the numbers here.
You're fine.
I think max like 3 months. I already had the work permit and the social. That this whole process was really quick, like biometrics, and then I received 2 documents. So since I would say May that all this happened, just today I got I got this notice. They request for more initial evidence.
Right. But what did you submit in support of the marriage?
I did with attorney. So at the time, me and my wife, we just moved to a new city, so we didn't have like a lot of compromise of like water, electric.
But how about now?
Right now, we have a lot of evidence. We have.
So I put on the bottom of the screen. You can download our list of marital evidence, hackinglawpractice.com/marital-evidence. That gives the list of everything we use when we send in evidence. So I would get all of that and send it in. I think they might be willing to do your case without an interview, or they're worried about your case and you're going to need a lot more evidence. So either way, send them everything you got.
Okay. And how long you think if I do this soon as possible?
I have no idea, but it doesn't matter really that much because you have your work card, so things aren't going to change that much when you get your green card, other than you'll have more status. But you're in better shape than a lot of the people that come on the show.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't apply for a travel permit, but that's what I'm looking for. But the other thing too, just last thing, I didn't send the application with the medical exam. That doesn't.
Yeah, they'll ask you for that.
Okay, so that. Okay, all right.
Thanks, Lucas. See you, buddy.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye, buddy. Bye. Happy holidays for sure. And that's right. So we're going to have 2 more shows before Christmas. So we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central and then Friday at 4 p.m. Central. Hope you all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for episode number 296. We'll be back tomorrow for episode 296. If you want to be one of the first ones in the waiting room, send the word show by text to 314-470-3300. We will see you tomorrow. Huli, thanks for your help. Thanks everybody for coming on and for the comments. We'll see you.